Good evening and welcome back to Twin State Sports. I'm Zach Seminar. The fun is all over as far as it pertains to National Signing Day, as some of the country's best teams rounded out their 2018 signing class on Wednesday. It was to no one's surprise Georgia and Ohio State at the top of the heap. Also Mississippi State up there as well. The Bulldogs are said to have the 27th best recruiting class in the nation, that according to 247 Sports, while rivals graded them out at number 25. Now here's a little bit of what Coach Moorhead had to say on the SEC Network about his new family members and how he has attacked the state of Mississippi.
If you look, we have 13 kids committed from in-state, and one service had us getting 6 of the top-ranked players in the state, so that's been tremendous. I think we have a good mix of guys on our staff from different places, but a lot with significant Southeastern Conference ties. And the reception on the road has been fantastic because I think the coaches understand what our commitment to the players and keeping the kids at home is going to be.
About the same could be said about the early success that Matt Luke has had in Oxford. The Rebels taking home a top 35 showing, checking in at number 31 on 247 Sports 2018 recruiting class rankings. Despite a bowl ban that the school continues to fight, Matt Luke spoke about the jump the Rebels were able to make from the end of the season up until now.
You're really excited about this class. We're able to address our needs at every position. A lot of credit goes out to our staff, what they were able to do. Not only capitalizing off the momentum of the Egg Bowl in the early signing period, but also addressing some needs in this. So really proud of our staff. Anytime that started where we started and end up around the top 25 in the recruiting rankings, I think it's just a credit to the staff and the job they were able to do.
It was a super busy day on the NBA trade front as the trade deadline came and went. 2 p.m. this afternoon, we begin with the New Orleans Pelicans, who made a minor move, trading away Dante Cunningham to Brooklyn in exchange for Rashad Vaughn. Now Vaughn, he's a third-year pro out of UNLV, spent the first 2 years in Milwaukee. He was not good. He was just acquired by the Nets on Monday. 30-year-old Cunningham, he spent the last 4 years in New Orleans, where he averaged 5 points and 4 boards per game this season. Big news of the day was the massive overhaul the Cleveland Cavaliers roster got. It started late this morning when they agreed to trade Isaiah Thomas and Channing Frye to the Lakers for Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson. IT, who was acquired in the Kyrie Irving trade, has been awful for the Cavaliers in 14 games, averaging just under 15 points per game, 25% outside shooting. He had also became a locker room issue, according to some. He also commented on Coach Ty Lue's inability to make in-game adjustments early in the week. Cavs weren't done there. They also worked out a 3-team deal with Utah and Sacramento, which sent Derrick Rose to the Jazz, as well as Jay Crowder. Cleveland would receive George Hill back from Sacramento and Rodney Hood from Utah, while the Kings got Iman Shumpert and Joe Johnson. And then, to cap things off, the honeymoon between LeBron James and D. Wade is over. The Cavaliers also trading Wade to the Heat in exchange for a second-round pick. Wade was bought out of his contract by the Bulls right before the start of the season. He's averaging a career-low 11 points per game while coming off the bench. But according to some reports, Wade on board with the deal, heading back to where his career started in South Beach. And talk about some big money. 49ers have agreed to a 5-year deal with quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to be worth $137.5 million. Deal is the largest in NFL history. It'll average $27.5 million per year, edging Matt Stafford's $27 million that he signed last year. Former second-round pick traded to the Niners this past season. He went 5-0 as a starter with San Francisco. But what do you think about these trades? The Cavaliers revamping their roster. I like Dwayne Wade going back home. I really like that move, and he's going to be able to compete for the playoff spot as well.
Yeah. Get some of the older guys off the roster. I mean, because they weren't going anywhere. I mean, Cleveland was sandbagging it.
Yeah, they had the flashy names.
Right.
But when you break it down, I mean, George Hill, he's every bit as good as D. Wade was, and Isaiah Thomas, the way he was playing. I mean, they get Jordan Clarkson. They get the same thing from Clarkson that they were getting from IT.
Yeah, they're younger.
Sounds like LeBron's going to be happy, huh?
I think LeBron should be happy because things weren't working out. They're at least trying something new.
Yeah. See how it goes.
His money's keeping him.